6 years ago that I would sign up for an amazing opportunity and end up in front of you. I mean, God works in mysterious ways today. And today I'm going to share my story with you in hopes that I say something that just inspires you or gives you the push to realize, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. So first of all, I would love to celebrate my fabulous unit. If you guys would stand up so we can give you a round of applause. These are the Cobras champions. I love you guys. You guys rock it out. So they joked with me on the way here and they said, you're welcome for being number 2. Thank you, ladies. I wrote some amazing notes and my husband walked in last night and he said, I'm not really sure why you're typing that all out. You never read from your script. And I said, well, sometimes I just need to know that it's there in case I should panic. Because I too have a sweating problem. And when I get nervous, I pit out. I'm sure corporate's like, seriously, that is the last thing we wanted you guys to share. But I think you need to know. So there we go. And I'm dry too, Julie, so we're good. So my journey starts about 6 years ago. Actually, April is my anniversary. And I was not looking for Mary Kay. Any of you who were not looking for Mary Kay? I was the only one. Oh my gosh. But Mary Kay was clearly looking for me. And so I'll never forget the phone call when Leah Carta called me and explained what I had won. I personally, hand to God, did not even know what Mary Kay was. When she called me, all I heard was free facial, goodie bag, free facial. And I thought it was all I could do to hang up the phone to go round up my 8 women that were going to come with me, and I didn't want to miss out. So I asked everybody at work that I kind of liked, and that was 2 people out of a huge company, and they all said, okay. I mean, I was like, what am I missing? I'm so excited. This is free, you guys. What do you not understand about free? I went home, I asked my mom, because she's my best friend, and I said, Mom, I earned this free pampering session today, and she looked at me, and she said, you know what they do, right? And at that point, I had no idea what they did. And so she said, you're gonna do it to yourself. And I was like, do I care? Because it's free. And I don't know, I have 8 girls going with me, and this is exciting. I have 8 friends that said yes, and we're gonna do something free together. And so we went. And I walked in, and I was so excited. I had 8 friends who I finally could get 8 people together. Do you remember your first party where you were like, oh my God, I got 8 people together, or 3 people together? Like, we live in a world now where we're so busy, it's hard to do that. And I thought, oh my God, my best girlfriends. And so we sat there. I fell in love with everything. And at that point, I didn't even wash my face. I was the girl who walked in, a super tomboy, jock, athlete. I never stepped out of my yoga pants if I didn't have to. And here I was. I bought everything that we tried that day. I flipped open the catalog. I said, I want whatever else you think I need. Make me beautiful. And I was the girl that cared more about what my designer handbag looked like and what designer jeans I was wearing. This was not important. As long as this looked good, we were sold. But when I sat there and I felt how great my skin looked and what an amazing product this was, I thought, I could fall in love with this. This is amazing. I ran home to my husband, who was my fiance at the time, and I told him how much I spent. And bless his heart, he rolled his eyes and he said, well, I'm glad you had fun. And he said, do you know, we used to, what I used to do is every night, it was a ritual. I would pull out the order of application and I would wash my face. And he would say, seriously, you need a piece of paper to tell you how to wash your face? And I was like, one day you'll understand. And 2 weeks later, no joke, he looked at me. We were in San Francisco in an elevator and he said, I don't know what you're doing to your skin, but it looks so good. And I said, remember all that product I bought? Now you get it. And so I was completely sold. I was hooked. I called Leah and I was like, what else could I buy? Leah emailed me shortly after. She emailed me. If anybody knows who Leah Carta is, will you raise your hand? Yeah, she's amazing, National Sales Director. So she was on the verge of earning her first trip and she emailed me. And you all know we're trained not to email to ask for the sharing appointment, correct?
Yes.
She emailed me, just so we're clear. And she said something like, you know, I don't know, whatever. I would have kicked myself if I didn't. The only thing I read in the email was she said 2 things. Free coffee, free product. Those are the key to my heart. Really, it's coffee. The product I could have done without. I had it all. I thought I was, in glory land. So I thought, I'm gonna go. And so she was gonna give me free product. And I said, she could have really said anything she wanted at that appointment. I was just there so I could have my coffee at my favorite place and maybe pick up some free product. So that day, when I left, I told my husband, hey, I'm gonna be home late because I'm meeting with this Mary Kay lady. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, don't you sign up for anything. And I must have been totally oblivious because I said, me? Sign up for Mary Kay? You're crazy. That's not why we're talking. I'm like, we're talking because I'm getting free product and I'm getting coffee. And he said, okay, well, whatever. Because in my eyes at that point in my life, I had everything figured out. Anybody have everything figured out? Mm-hmm. I had it figured out. I had a career that was growing. I was getting married in about 6 months. I come from an amazing family. I thought I had great friends. Let me just retract that. I thought I had great friends. And I was in a place where I thought, life doesn't get much better than this. And so when he said, you're gonna go don't sign up for anything, I thought, is there anything better than what I already have? No way. So I showed up, Leah rolled up in her pink Cadillac, and I looked around and thought, I hope no one from work sees me meeting with her, because we were right in front of my office. And so I planned it late enough that I hoped everyone had gone home for the day so that I wouldn't be seen with the pink Cadillac lady. She rolled up. She, of course, bought me her coffee. We began discussing the opportunity. And as I listened to her and looked at her, I thought, really? With all the diamonds and the glitz and the glam and what's going on, I know how much I make, and there's no way that you make more than me selling lip gloss. I was a brat. And so I sat there and I listened and I thought, you know what? She's got something going. She's younger than me. She definitely has more diamonds than me. And she's having way more fun than me. I thought, where did I go wrong? What have I been doing? Because like I said, I thought I had everything figured out and I was living the best life possible. So I skipped out of there, I'm pretty sure, and hopped in my car. I ran home, and I was the girl that we all roll our eyes with, where I had to go and just make sure it was okay with my husband. And Leah said, what do you think your husband will say? And I said, well, he'll say yes, of course, because he supports me, and we're getting married. We're not married yet, so he better say yes. And so I skipped home to tell him, and I said, I am going to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And he said, no, you are not. And at this point, I'm an only child. I'll put that out there. And I thought, oh, yes, I am. And so the reason he said no is because of this. And I hope that this gives you hope. At the time, I was the woman doing everything and then some. I was working 60+ hours a week in corporate America. I was the on-call specialist 24/7, the only one. I was planning my wedding. I don't plan large events, so it gives me heart palpitations to think about planning a wedding. I have 2 children. My daughter suffers from autism, so we spend a lot of time at school, therapy, things like that. I was also finishing a master's degree at Sac State in criminal justice, so I wanted to arrest people, not put skincare on them. And so this was just something out of my comfort zone for sure. And the last thing I was doing, I was competing in a women's figure competition, which is 3 to 4 hours at the gym, 6 days a week. Do the math. There's not much day left when you put all of those things together. But I was a woman that knew if I wanted to change and I wanted those diamonds, I needed to figure it out. And so Michael said, great, I challenge you to finish your master's degree, and then you can call this Leah lady and you can sign up. Well, at that point, I had been working on my master's degree for 6 years. 6.5, shall we get technical. At year 7, when you have not completed it, you have to start all over. And every day my mom and dad would call and say, how's the master's degree coming? And I would say, it's going great. And what I didn't tell them is I hadn't started yet. I had taken the classes, had not written the thesis or even researched the thesis project. I was having fun. And so Michael said, finish your master's degree, take something off of your plate, and you can sign up to sell Mary Kay. And so I did just that. I called my boss. I took 3 days off of work. I woke up early. I got my coffee, because I don't live without that. And I worked day in and day out for 3 days. And I called my husband on the 3rd day, and I said, well, I finished my master's degree. Can I call Leah? And there was silence on the other end of the phone. And he said, okay, go ahead. And so my journey began. I forgot to mention that I was also basically a single mother because my husband commuted from Roseville to Sacramento, or Roseville to San Jose on a regular basis. And so I was running the home. And so I knew that if I needed to figure this out, I needed to be a time management. I needed to create more time in my day. And so I did just that. I worked on my lunch hours. I worked on my, any time that I had a break, I worked. Lunch hours, 15-minute breaks. I would actually leave work, go sit in a parking lot, make my booking calls, and then head home. Because I knew the minute I stepped foot in that home, they needed me. People needed me. And so I needed to do the work before I got home so that I could focus on them. And so I share with you to give you hope that if you're a busy woman, you can do this. You can make this happen. One thing that I want to share with you is that we all have obstacles. Would you agree? Some are greater than others. My obstacle was Leah gave me a challenge. For those of you that know me, you know I work for a shiny pencil. And so she said, I'll dangle a prize in front of you. And I did exactly what she asked for. And so I propelled myself into DIQ, but not before sharing the opportunity with 40 women and 1 woman signed. Our recruiting average is 1 in 5. I called Leah and I said, you're a liar. You said I would recruit 1 in 5. But instead of giving up, I pushed on. I pushed past because I know that Mary Kay is not magical, it's mathematical. And so I continued to see the faces, I continued to share the opportunity, and at that point, the next month I recruited 9 and then 11 and propelled myself into DIQ. And so it's not giving up, it's pushing past the obstacles. And so I wasn't looking to become a director. I was looking for $100 a month, and this opportunity has given me so much more than $100 a month. What are you pretending not to know to get to that next level? You guys, it's not hard. You put product on faces, you share the opportunity, and you have passion, and you get excited. 4 years ago, I left corporate to do Mary Kay full time, and it has been the most freeing experience. I can't even tell you what my daily life looks like because it's amazing. And you should all want to have it. And it's absolutely incredible. I'm so blessed to have an amazing husband, Michael, who's at home running the household. Who knows what they're doing? I just pray that they're all alive when I get home. But he has been my partner in this, and he's absolutely amazing. I have 2 amazing children, 13 and 11, and they have been my huge support system. Adeline is currently no longer needing special education because I have been able to give her that time. Thank you. My why in this business has always been so that I could be present at everything. And I'm an only child, like I said, and I have aging parents and they are my world. And I wanted to be able to be there for them for everything. And so I hope that one day I can do everything that they have done for me. And all I wanted was to be able to go and be present with people because no one knows what tomorrow brings. And so are you living every